Hello everybody and welcome back to DIY Diecast. My name is Joe and this is a very special fantasy car episode. I know everyone's favorite cars, right? Well, rather you love or hate, or even if you're somewhere in the middle on the fantasy cars, I'm going to try to make it interesting for you. We're going to open a bunch of them. We're going to take a look at the details because, hey, we don't look at these things very often, do we? And some of them have some really great details. I have a particular use and reason for opening the dozen or so that we're going to unbox today, and I'll share that with you too because it's part of some big news that's coming up for the show. Also, got a new piece of equipment in for the show I've been waiting on for a couple weeks. It finally came yesterday, and I'll be unboxing that with you as well. And I will be talking with you about the latest overhyped car very briefly, and I'll go ahead and get that out of the way. It is a fantasy car as well. Can you guess which one it is? Come on those social media Hot Wheels communities. What's that annoying little car that keeps popping up in posts all over the place the past few weeks? I'll give you a couple seconds. Yes, somebody said it. It's the Sushi Tuner. Yes. I'm not sure how many of you have joined or are part of any of these social media Hot Wheels communities, but I'm a member of one of them, and it's 85,000 members, and it's not the largest one. So there's a lot of you out there in the community that look at these sometimes daily. It helps me to keep up with what's trending and what's hyped. With the hype car videos I do, I get a lot of my ideas from the social content that's on those communities. And if you're part of these communities, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. This Sushi Tuner, which was once a peg warmer, the stores could not sell them at all. Nobody wanted the things. About a month ago, they went from getting very hard to find these days. And I've been looking for one the past 2 weeks to do a show with. I couldn't find one at all. And there were times when I went to some stores and dozens of these were the only things that were left on the pegs. It's like somebody come on and buy those things so that the store will see the pegs are empty and start putting some new cases on there. But what happened was one person took a picture of when they went to the store, and the only thing that was hanging there was a couple dozen of these Sushi Tuners. And everybody thought it was funny, and it got a lot of reviews and a lot of feedback, and other people noticed that it got a lot of attention. So they went to their store when they found the same thing, took a picture of it, and they put the same post out there so that they could get a bunch of reviews and a bunch of comments and feedback and be the life of the party, right? Well, then people saw that was catching on, and they went to the store and started buying these things like crazy so that they could put them in all kinds of different photos and posts to get lots of likes and comments and whatnot. And it created a temporary hype there that we do see in the community from time to time, and it is definitely the Sushi Tuner. So enough about that. It was hype. I think it's came down now in the middle of it. Some of these were selling for $15. I ain't kidding you. Check the eBay comp sales. All right, I'm going to get behind that camera and let's get started on opening up some of these great fantasy cars. Okay, so on the DIY World Headquarters, presentation table. Got a bunch of fantasy cars here. These are all the ones we'll be opening up. I picked them completely random out of many thousands of fantasy cars I have stowed away, wondering what the heck I was going to do with. And I found a great purpose for them. And that's another big reason that we're doing a fantasy car show and that we will be unboxing these today. And there's some fun ones there. I think you'll agree, even if you are not a big fan or collector of fantasy cars. Now, what am I going to do with these things once I get them open? Great question. Very exciting news. All right, well, for those of you who have been following the show, and particularly the DIY Diecast bingo racing videos that I've been doing here lately, if you haven't seen them, they are a lot of fun. You ought to check one out and give it a chance. It's just the whole randomness of the way that the cars are selected in bingo racing that I think is a lot of fun. And the way bingo racing works, DIY diecast bingo racing, you should get that copyrighted. It's so much fun. Lots of people are going to want to start trying to do it right. But anyway, the way it works is the way it started out, okay? Because this is big news. Something's getting ready to change. All these cars behind me on the wall, just these right here. There were 411 cars that I had tickets for, numbered 1 through 411, and I would random pick 2 cars at a time to race down the 6-lane Hot Wheels racetrack. And there are trucks, cars, vans, boats, customs, wheel swap vehicles, lowriders, construction equipment. Everything is up there. So you never know what's going to race who. It's completely random by drawing numbers out and picking the cars that are numbered in each square. So, here's the thing. A lot of these, well, 98% of them are those cars we love to watch going down a track. They're Camaros and they're Chevys, Fords, Nissans. They're licensed cars is what I'm trying to say. But they're, up to this point, there haven't been a lot of fancy cars. And the truth about fancy cars is while they may not be our favorites, some of them are wicked fast. And how do you find out which ones are? Well, you gotta race them. And I can't race them if I don't have any up there. So, I've done this. Big addition to DIY Diecast, Bingo Racing. Next video, which I will be releasing tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed, you don't want to miss your chance to see this, go ahead and take a few seconds after the video, this one, to subscribe so that you get the notification when the video drops and you don't miss it. I have added hundreds of new cars to that original 411, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, here we go. Used to be, we were only racing these. Next video I drop tomorrow, we're adding all these cars into the race field. Now, the total cars that have the potential to be racing each other, 719 cars. Now, here's the problem. Mixed in all these 719 cars, there's some bigger cars in there like muscle machines. They just won't fit on the lanes of the track. So I'm going to be removing those. And then there are some like power plowers. The wheels are too wide. They got to get pulled out of there too. That's going to make some empty slots. I'm going to fill them with these fantasy cars. And we're going to start getting to see some fantasy cars have a chance to perform against the licensed cars. Sounds like fun, right? Well, I think it is anyway. You be the judge. Alright, now the next manner of business we need to take care of before we get to opening up and unboxing all these great fantasy cars. Look at this real quick. That's a toilet with wheels on it. Is that something or what? Very cool. We're going to take a look at that. But anyhow, if you've been following the show, you'll know that my turntable, it moved on to the afterlife. Not sure what happened to it. Takes batteries and has a USB connection there. And I changed the batteries, tried a different USB cord and plug and everything. It's just done. I mean, so do you suppose that turntables have a eternity? Do they have a soul in the afterlife? I don't know. But anyway, it was time to get a new one, and here it is. Got this from Temu as well, and I believe it's exactly the same with one difference, and it should be, if they sent the right one, it should be very apparent when I get it out of the box. Look at that cat having a good time on the turntable there. I wonder what that says above him in the Chinese writing there. Should be very interesting. Let's get it open. And there it is. Ta-da! There is our new DIY diecast presentation table. I got white this time. I tell you, you know, now these cars that I open, a lot of times they've been sitting in storage bins and cardboard boxes, and I bought them from somebody's collection. They've had them in the attic, in the basement, in the garage, and they're just full of dust and all kinds of stuff. And the black really showed the dust as I was showing off cars and all the dirt that comes off the packages in the cars. So my hope was that with the white, it won't be as noticeable or whatnot. It's really distracting when you're trying to look at a car spin around. You got all these dust bunnies around it, I know. So hopefully it'll take care of that. You get a USB cord, of course, with that. You don't get the plug-in part. You have to have that yourself. And this one should take batteries as well. Yes, it does. All right, so I'll get that plugged up, and we'll get it going. And I don't know, should we... Too bad our old turntable doesn't work. We could look at our new turntable on the old one. Huh. Oh, another thing you get, too. It, a pass of inspection little certification there. It passed, so it should be good. Alright, I'll get it plugged in, and let's get looking at some cars finally. Alright, now we are plugged in and ready to go. I'll put my wheel chock on there. You couldn't even see it was spinning with that white color or whatever. We'll see how this works for us. But hey, and this wheel chock too, thanks to a very special viewer and a friend, 3D printed me that. Thanks again, Tim. Get a lot of use out of this thing. Keeps the cars from rolling off while it's spinning. I will be forever grateful for this fantastic tool. Alright, now let's select our first fantasy car. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the toilet bowl car. Alright, 1998 Hot Wheels First Editions, and it's called the Hot Seat. Appropriately. And it is a toilet bowl with a massive engine in there. From far away, it almost looks like a golf bag full of golf clubs on the back of a toilet golf cart, right? But hey, let's get this open and check out the details. Alright, and there it is. Isn't that fun or what? It's just a toilet seat. Tank on the back full of engines. And it's got a flip-up seat there too. You can flip up the seat on that. And, you know, could you imagine just... I know for collectors. I mean, I know. But could you just imagine being a kid back in 1998 when these things first came out and getting one of these in your stocking, or one of your parents coming home and just handing you this thing? You would have went nuts as a child. And that's part of the biggest part of the thing I miss about this hobby, you know, is just the joy of it. You know, it seems to be sucked out with all the scalping and the hoarding and all the other politics of it or whatnot. These details get lost of a simpler time when things were just daggone fun. Here is the Hot Seat from Hot Wheels, and it will now be joined into the racing field where we will have the potential to see it race very soon. Next. Alright, from the 2021, yet new for 2022, is the Hot Wheels Experimenters. Lego kind of looking truck here called the Bricking Trails. Yes, Bricking Trails. Let's get it open and take a look at this off-road Lego fantasy vehicle. Alright, there it is, the Hot Wheels Bricking Trails fantasy car. Very Land Rover-ish looking, isn't it, don't you think? Got the spare tire out back. Got the spare tire action. I suppose you could count the little bumps on top as light bars. Got a Lego roll bar in the back. And hey, you could take your Legos and build something on top of this thing. And it's even got the plugs on the side there, wherever you call them, where you could even potentially put some wings on this thing and get her flying. But another very interesting thing about this fantasy car is that it is plastic, of course, as you can see, but the base is metal. Yes, that is a metal base. I made sure of it before I told you it was a metal base because, man, I got that wrong on the premium set of Advan cars over here a few videos ago, and some of you guys took me out behind the shed and went clean through my knees in the comments. You cannot get a detail wrong. So I tapped on it, I stuck a magnet on it, it sticks. That is a metal base on that plastic body. Woo! Escaped a beating there. Alright, next. Alright, is the Hot Wheels Brick Rides Brick and Motor. A fun play on words from brick and mortar, right? And while I got this one still in the package, take note of the shape of that car, especially the cab. And then when you put it next to that one, boy, look how much those look alike. Down to the 3 Lego bumps going down the hood and the 3 pipes coming out of the top of the mod rod. Doesn't it look like they just wanted to recreate the mod rod out of a Lego style car there? Very, very, very similar, even down to the shape of the windows there. Very, very, very similar. All right, let's get it open. All right, there it is, the brick end motor, and big yellow beadlock wheels on the back, little tiny ones in the front. Very excited to add this quad turbos, 4 turbos up there. Check that out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And very, very happy to be adding this to the potential of racers in the Bingo Racing Series. And can't wait to see if it will get selected and how it will perform. And, you know, you can pop the, on these two, and even the yellow top on the last car that we looked at, they have a couple pieces where you can move them around or whatnot, and customize your vehicle if you are into Legos and building them, just like that. And I'll never get on there with one hand. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so there it is, brick and mortar. What's up next? All right, next up, something just a little bit more serious, yet still a fantasy car. It is the Shadow Jet. Yes, from the Technobit series, classic red car on there, on the card. Usually it's blue. Isn't that cool? So let's get out the Shadow Jet and check out the details of that very F-14 fighter pilot looking car there. All right, there is Shadow Jet. Some gold plating details and action going on with a little bit of chrome and a great metallic purple paint job. You know, they don't skimp out on the metallic paint jobs just because they are fantasy cars. And got that big bubble top, plexiglass possibly, top on it where the driver would sit underneath it. And again, just looking very much like a jet, poised to go downhill. Look, it looks like it's going downhill. The way it slopes down and gets higher in the back. We got a wing, the big wheels out in the back, small ones out in the front. Should be a serious track competitor. Can't wait to see it race one day. Next up, it is the 90s styling split and image. And this is a vintage retro car still in the package here. Got a dinged up corner here, so we'll set her free. Notice those neon pink Hot Ones wheels on that thing. Kind of Corvette or Batman looking, but the splitting image has been and the splitting image too, which this one is, been around for a long time. Many different variations, and one of the more popular in mainstream fantasy cars, I would have to say. There it is, and some of us will already know that it's a fast car. Yep, no other way to say it. It's just fast, and it's got dual cockpits there, his and her side by side racing action going on there. Probably the most notable thing about this particular variation here, of course, those neon pink Hot Ones wheels on there. Should be a lot of fun watching those things spin around going down the track. Next up, very special one here for some. It's a treasure hunt fantasy car. Sure is, and it is the Repo Duty. You'll notice the treasure hunt logo right there, smack in the middle of the door. I have probably a dozen of these. There are several of them for sale over on the DIY Diecast eBay store. They've been sitting there for $5 a piece, and absolutely nobody is interested in them. That's just the fate of the, even though it's a treasure hunt, of the fantasy cars. Fantasy tow truck. Let's get it up, open, and check out the details. And there it is. Yep, it's a treasure hunt. Who cares? It's just a fancy car. Doesn't even look like any licensed truck in particular. I guess maybe it has that Ram-ish kind of look to the cab and front end there just a bit. But got the great wheel lift on the back. So what fun. I suppose you could put the front wheels of a vehicle up there and pull it around in your dioramas or dioramas or whatnot. And I don't know, I'm more interested in seeing how this thing performs on the track. Hopefully it will get picked as one of our competitors tomorrow. Who knows? All right, next up, fantasy card short card. Yeah, they do them too. And this one is called the Track Manga. And hey, it says track in it, so it must be fast, right? Well, hopefully we're going to find out. Hopefully it will get selected. It's from the Speed Blur series, rather. Let's get it out and take a look at the details on this Track Manga drop top. There it is. See, that ain't too bad. I don't know, what does it kind of look like there? I don't know. It resembles some JDM kind of styling there, I think. Has some Chinese writing on the hood. And ain't mad at those lightning style decals on there. It is a fancy car. And a drop top with running boards down the side. No, I suppose that's just a body kit, but they do look like running boards on there to help you step up into this incredibly low vehicle. But hey, gold wheels on it, and hopefully it's very fast on the track. Hey, do you guys remember Surf's Up? Yep, it's that surfer dude on wheels. And I hope that this one has enough clearance. I hope it's not too tall for the finish line part of the track. We'll have to get it open and see, but it should be very fun to see this thing flying down the track with its competitors. And this from the HW Daredevils series here. Let's get it open and see if there are any great details to be examined. Alright, now if you take the time, like you probably never have before, if you're not into these fantasy cars, to actually look at the details, this thing is actually pretty cool. That body on there looks, reminds me a lot of the old Acceleracers, those transparent plastic blue. It's supposed to look like a surfboard in the water, and it's doing a really good job. Even the surfboard is detailed pretty well, and it looks like it's coming up out of the water, like he's actually surfing on the water. And when I picked this up, something was kind of loose. It's because the guy is on little pegs on his feet. You can pull him right off. He is removable and put him right back on. So that's kind of fun too. And this is all plastic here, and has the metal base. Okay, so plastic body, metal base on that. Pretty fast wheels from my experience. This should do well on the track as long as it'll fit through the finish line. And boy, it would look cool if you shined a light through that transparent blue plastic too. Someday I'm going to have to get us in the dark with a good flashlight LED and light up some of these transparent plastic cars and do a show. This would certainly make a great one to look at that way. Alright, from the Hot Wheels Track Series track, car should be fast, right? I would not have even known what this thing was supposed to be trying to be had it not been for the name. The name then gave it away once I looked at it, but this thing is called the Sup Dog, and now that you look at it, does it make any sense? Let's get it out and look at the details. You'll see. Alright, now, before I get started, what is absolutely most hilarious about this car is that it has the most beautiful pearl white metallic paint job on it. That is killing me that they went through the trouble with that detail. But it really is a beautiful metallic. You can kind of see it in the light going around the hood there. Yeah, it's beautiful. And now you see it. It's a puppy. And it's got the spots on the side. You see the fangs there in the front. Yeah, the bulldog eyes, I guess. And the spikes on the chrome collar there up around the bubble window. What fun, right? And hopefully fast. Alright, and next up is the Road Bandit from the HW Art Cars series. Very Jeep-looking front end on there. What do you think, huh? And very colorful. Let's get it out and see if it's got a metal base or some great weight to it. Anything that would make it great on the track. There it is. I suppose it's a camper more than it is a bus, looking at it a little bit closer. Very, very colorful and very Jeep front end, as I pointed out. And you can look right down in there and see some of the furniture details in there in the living headquarters. And I suppose the next thing we need to see is the base is plastic on plastic for sure. So not a lot of weight to it. Surprisingly, for its size, Got them fast art car wheels on it. My experience has been those roll very well. All right, just two more to go. What a fun one here. The radio flyer. I have this in a red somewhere too, and this is that either that Malaysian version or whatnot, where the plastic yellowed on it, or maybe it was just left out in the sun. Some of you will know what I'm talking about, but let's get open the radio flyer and check out the details. There it is, carrying on in the spirit of fun as the fantasy cars traditionally tend to do. Very, very massive, chromed out tunnel ram engine on that thing. Very, very cool. And die cast portion of the tub for the body there, just like a radio flyer would have. And it's got a metal base. It's a heavy little chunk of fantasy car and should be very, very fun to see racing down the track. And I saved the best for the last. Yes, it is the Sushi Tuner. Let's take a look at this fast foodie. All right, there it is. Now, don't you just gotta get your hands on this one? Sliver of raw fish sitting on a bed of rice and those great 5-star wheels. What is not to love? You can certainly see now that it's out of the package what all of the hype was about. And don't you miss out now that you have witnessed this car. You've got to have one of these for your collection now. If you got to pay 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, you ain't nobody unless you got one of these in your collection, right? All right, that's going to do it for this show. Boy, we made it through them. Hey, and that wasn't that bad after all, come to find out. So lots of great details on the fantasy cars. It can be a lot of fun. And I'm certainly excited to see when they get chosen to, if they're fast or not going down the track. So like I pointed out earlier, if you're new to the show, new to the bingo racing, you might want to subscribe so that you get a notification when those videos drop and you don't miss your chance to see those great fantasy cars competing against all the other in the mix of 719 cars. Totally random, totally fun. Hope to see you on the next one.